Hey everyone, George here and you're watching Whisky Islander. So today we have a review video for you. We're going to be reviewing the White Walker, the new White Walker release by Johnnie Walker. As you can see, it's a beautiful bottle. You probably can't see it that well. I'll try to show you. It's got a nice matte kind of bumpy finish, elements to it. It's got great bright colours. It is, I have to say, a really cool looking bottles. And if you're a fan of Game of Thrones, the next season's coming out next year because it's taken so long. I'm a big fan of Game of Thrones. If you like Game of Thrones, this is a pretty cool bottle to have, and it's very affordable. In the US, I bought it for like $30–40 US. I'm sure you can find it here for a similar price in Taiwan. It's really not an expensive bottle. So let's get to reviewing this. So this is actually at 41.7%, and they actually recommend you freeze it. So it's quite a cool marketing technique. But to be fair, I prefer drinking it frozen as opposed to at room temperature. So I've already tried it frozen. I couldn't really bring it out too fast. I've tried it room temperature, tried it frozen, and I much prefer the frozen. So I'd say stick it in the freezer and try it the way they recommend. It even says it in the back that they recommend you freeze it. So let's get started. So as usual with our reviews, we're going to do nose, palate, finish, and then we're going to give it a rating. So on the nose, I'm going to go by frozen. On the nose, I get a lot of nutty elements. So you get cashews, you get pistachios in there, you get a lot of nutty elements. You get some orange in there. You get just a little bit. I get rum on the nose. I get quite a lot of just nice young Cuban rum on the nose. Yeah, it's got a nice nose for a blend of 41% that you're only paying like $40 for. It's quite a complex nose. So that's it for the aromas. Let's go into the palate. Yeah, so on the palate, it gives you a lot more of the rum elements that we discussed before. It's quite sharp, it's quite strong, but it's also quite, eventually, especially if you add some water, it gets quite creamy, nice pistachio ice cream flavors in there, still a bit of the orange, a lot of rum, and a lot of the nutty flavors that we discussed before. The finish is not so low, it's quite short actually, it cuts off quite suddenly. Yeah, it doesn't last too long, but again, you've got all the elements from before, the nut, the rum, the creamy ice cream, bit of nugget in there, it's quite nice. So let's go to the verdict. I would give this, for its price point and its category, I would give this like a 7.5 out of 10. It's quite a good blend. I know it's like a whole marketing thing with Game of Thrones, etc., but the whiskey inside isn't bad. It's quite enjoyable and it's interesting. If you freeze whiskey, it's quite an unusual thing to do, so it brings something different to the table. So for the price, as I said, I'd recommend you go out and get a bottle, enjoy it, try it with friends, and see what you think of it. It's definitely one of the better Johnnie Walkers at this price point that I've tried. Anyway, that's all for today. I'm going to stick this back in the freezer. And yeah, let us know in the comments if you get to try it and your opinion. Have a great day.